Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Diane Nelson. How are you doing today, this evening? Please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already, please do. I'm trying to get my algorithm back up. Making videos on a weekly basis, so that's been a little daunting for me. Actually, it's a little. I've been having some scaredness about it, but anyway, I wanted to let y'all know I'm here this week. Now it's every week. I think I made a video this past Wednesday. I did make a video this Wednesday, so I'm back here Saturday. Today is Saturday, so it should be uploaded by no later this evening. I'm in Vegas, and it's 5:04. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel to know the name, it's My Breakthrough Journey. I want to be like, have an algorithm where I have like some kind of signature phrase or something. I recently be looking at this girl named Keita Rose. She has, go and check her YouTube channel out. She has a lot to say, and I love it. She's very creative and very funny, but she also has a strong opinion about certain things, especially to the ladies out there. She was in this one little podcast called The Conversation Nightly or something. It was about women and men issues, and I used to enjoy it, but when she left, I was like, ugh. They was getting, this the one lady, she got a little preachy and talking about church and everything, and I don't mind that, but every journey, I mean, God is part of every journey, but it's a little sanctimonious, I feel like. Sometimes you don't need to preach to your audience. Blacks in America believes in church. I technically have an issue with that, but that's a whole nother video for another day. I'm gonna be here for a while because I have an epiphany. That might be my signature. I had an epiphany today. Well, it came all this weekend. And I've been saying this to myself so many times, but until you learn the lesson, sometimes you have to repeat certain things to yourself over and over again. If y'all hear that sound, that's my air conditioning. I'm in Las Vegas, and we're going through July, so excuse me. I should pause it for a second and come back. Hold on. Let me pause this. Now I'm back. Hi. I had to turn it off. Couldn't hear myself think. But I had an epiphany. I also had some thoughts. I just got back here on the dating scene. And I recently started to talk to this person. I'm gonna leave these names out, but I realized something. Like I've been telling everybody, if you listen to your gut, your intuition, your God speaks. God speaks to you in your own voice sometimes. He or she, because I don't believe God is an entity. I mean, God is this gender. I believe God is either male or female. I don't even think God is a being as human. So I don't think he's I want to say non-gender formity. I don't think that's what he is or she. I think it's the God in you who's talking to you. Certain warnings God gives us before we make certain decisions, or if we're seeing warnings, God give us that advice we need. um, that probably going to help us not make the same decisions constantly, and we just tend to want what we want instead of what our intuition is telling us to do. So I recently just went through an ex situation where the ex would tell me, I need a positive vibe. I need peace. I need serenity, right? But if you have problems on how a person is treating you, then you're going to have to get that out. And if they don't want to hear you, then you're going to have to make some kind of arrangement, because you can't stay in this, because God is telling you you're having an issue. And if you don't solve the issue and you can't relate this to your partner or get this issue out to be heard, then why is the partner there? Because the partner is supposed to be supportive. You've heard, I don't know if men hear this more, but when women have issues with the relationship, they say, oh, you're disturbing my peace. I really don't need to hear this right now. I'm going through my own thing. Okay, so if I can't let you know something is bothering me, then why am I here? Just to serve your purpose? Or are we supposed to be solving each other's purposes and issues together? And am I value just to please you? Or are we supposed to be growing together as a couple? Most of all men, some of them, have their own agendas. And when their agendas is not getting served, excuse me. If the agenda's not getting served, then they end up moving around. And they will make plans. A woman will say he's going through a bad day. He's going through a bad couple of months. Let him work this out. We're going to get back on track and be together. Even though you're still having these gripes, you're still having these issues with this man. And y'all haven't solved this issue. Eventually, somebody's going to give. And what's sad is, a lot of times women, instead of following their first mind, they will tend to stay longer than it's supposed to. They stay longer than they're supposed to. I know that happened with me. I stayed longer than I was supposed to stay. And now I had a recent dating issue with this one guy, and he was telling me, I think it was like you get to know somebody, you like to spend some time with them, and they say they this and that. And I'm like, okay, now if you can call me and tell me this and talk, we can talk. I would get it. We can, get through the issue. But if you're texting me stuff and I'm still having an issue with it and I'm trying to understand and you're not telling me the whole story, then I tend to wonder. I tend to go with my imagination. And if you showing me something that I've seen before, I'm going to go through your actions. Your actions is showing me that you have other things going on. And so what do I do? Do I still make the same mistake and say, well, maybe he'll get together? Or do I, since my needs are not getting met, I move on to greener pastures? The old Diane would have stayed and figured out, like, oh, maybe he's going through something, or maybe I need to give him a chance. No. I follow my first gut now. Since I moved out, got my own place, got a new job, I'm now doing these YouTube videos. I'm writing more now. I'm learning to listen to what God and my intuition is telling me. And my intuition is telling me that this guy's on some BS and I'm gonna move around. If you can't listen to what I say, if I'm a negative person and you don't like what I'm saying to you, then we don't need to be together. We need to move around. Point blank, period. And ladies, and some of you gentlemen, if you have an issue or a gripe and you telling your mate, oh, I'm having an issue and a gripe, can we not talk about this right now? I need to do this, and I've been going through a hard day. What do you think your mate has been going through? And a lot of times, and people don't, because cheating is a part of character, but cheating also can be, I've been trying to talk to my mate for so long, and they're not listening to me, but yet I want to stay. I have some things going on with this person. I just don't want to leave. I need to do something. So I go out here and do other things. Not to blame that person, because then you got to ask yourself, instead of me having to cheat, I need to tell him that we need to see other people. That's the grown person way to do it. But we are humans. We make mistakes. And instead of listening to the person who have the issues, in these days and time with internet and everything else, people just talking about, I'm on a vibe. I don't want nobody to mess up my vibe. But yet you want partnership. Every day ain't gonna be a bucket of roses. Like, we're not gonna and roses smell like boo-boo most of the time. So it's gonna be some days where there's going to be some conflict. And if I don't have a mate that I can vent to, that will hear what I'm going through in my life, and I have to take it to the Lord, the first thing the Lord's going to tell me is, first of all, do you have the right mate? That's the question he's going to ask. Do you have the right person for you? And how many times I'm going to tell you this and this and this is not the plan I have for you. And every time you put off having that difficult conversation, telling that person like, hey, I think we ran our course, the more you're going to end up having more difficulties, because that's how God does. He put more difficulties in your life. So you keep going through the difficulties, and it's the circumstances of not letting go. I had to learn it the hard way. Instead of, I was one of those people to just go along to get along and never listening to what my wants and needs were. And I am learning now that once you see the pattern, you can't go back. So I see the pattern. I keep letting people do me the way they've been doing me all this time, then I'm gonna always be stagnant. My life will never progress. I don't want to do that no more. I see the pattern. I see the issue. I'm gonna solve the issue. And then I'm gonna move on with my life. That way, I can move on to certain things. Like doing these videos is scary as hell to me because I don't know. But every day when God gives me a command, I do it, scary or not, because he has, and I say he, but I'm so used to saying he. God has brought me through so much. And sometimes we take them for granted. I know I do. And as human beings, we do. They just look at your life and the things that you've been through and say to yourself, I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm starting to hear myself again. When you're in a relationship, a lot of times you stop thinking about you and start thinking about the other person. And it's okay. But when you lose yourself trying to please that other person, that's when it becomes an issue. And you don't want to lose yourself trying to please another person. Certain things, certain habits, certain rituals that you do, that you have to cut yourself off. I used to be a dancer. Like, I used to love to dance. My mom was a dancer when I was coming up. Like, she used to go to clubs and dance and have a good time and associate with her friends and family. She always had a good time, even when she got older. That's what was her thing. Like, she would always love to have a good time. 4th of July was her favorite, one of her favorite holidays. And she was older woman and she still was out there gigging, just dancing. That's enjoying life. That used to be me. And then I got in a relationship with a guy who was kind of like, he was mean. He was a mean person. And I kept dimming down my light, trying to make him feel like he was the man. I am not doing that shit no more. I'm not dimming down my light for nobody anymore. Like, no. Giving up who I am, excuse me, everybody, but giving up who I am and who the person I am inside, speaking to people, letting everybody know they appreciate it and they have the right to be here. How you doing? How's your day? You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of person I am. I was raised like that. My mom used to go everywhere and everybody would speak to her. Diane, how you doing? Now, I'm named after my mom. But Diane, how you doing? I mean, like, mama talked to everybody. Everybody knew her in my hometown. And I was with a guy. If I spoke to somebody and I got in the car with him, he would make me feel like, why you need to speak to everybody? Like, why you gotta, like, I saw Jennifer, what's her name? Jennifer Lewis on, not to like go, this is referencing what I'm talking about. But I saw Jennifer Lewis on Kiki Shepherd's podcast. And she was like, I was engaged to this one guy and I looked up at the trees and I said, oh, them trees is beautiful. And her fiance said, why you think them trees is beautiful? What's so great about the trees? She immediately dumped him. I was like, that was extreme, but I get it. Because if you can't see the beauty in everyday life and you're miserable as a person, you're going to bring your misery on me. And I don't want that misery on me. You feel what I'm saying? There are people who just miserable. And you're going to have to let them be miserable by themselves. You're going to have to learn to let things go. They say God doesn't like you loving another person over them, over him or she. And I feel like sometimes we take our relationships to the point of an extreme of disrespecting ourselves. He or she made you and she loves you. And she doesn't want you getting disrespected by nobody because you something she made. So if you thinking that she's okay with you having a person constantly disrespect you, constantly not taking your peace for granted, constantly you have to dimming down your life just to be around that person. You don't think that's not what God didn't bring you on this earth for that. And sometimes we have to, as male or female, whoever listening to this, you may say, oh, you too much. You're just changing. You have a new, like if you get a new idea and you decide to venture it off and you want to talk about it, or you're doing this new business venture, or you're going to school for this new subject, and they constantly like, I don't want to hear this. My ex, when he came and told me about his schooling or anything he was going through with a new job, if he was excited, I was excited, because that meant that it was growing us as an entity. If he had a new anything, if he had new clothes, I'm complimenting his clothes. If I thought his haircut was fire today, I let him know, like, baby, your hair looks great today. You know what I'm saying? I give you that spirit to want to go out and make it, because my loved one let me know that he is doing a great job. And a lot of times you do that. And I do that for a lot of people. I don't get it back in return. I'm recently now getting it back. And you know what's crazy? Where I'm getting it from is the people that, it's my siblings. Like, I be looking people weird when they be like, my siblings is like, I'm like, that's weird. Because I guess because we grew up in foster care, we knew that, some of us understood that having a relationship with each other was very important. So we made it our business to have a relationship with each other. Like, it took us a minute, but like, my sisters and brothers are very important to me. Because whether I'm good or bad, or we're going through anything in any kind of relationship, at the end of the day, it's of value to us to connect and make it happen where we're both hearing each other. And I'm very proud of that. I feel like those are the people who love me unconditionally. What else? Because I don't want to keep talking about that. I'll stop crying. But ladies and gentlemen, if nobody is valuing your worth, either you're going to make them hear you and understand you, or you're going to have to make other plans. Period. And stop talking your gut down. I love telling y'all things I get my epiphanies from. I recently was watching this show on Peacock called Friends. What the hell was that show called? Let me look it up. It is on Peacock. It was such a good show. Let me see. Oh my God. Can y'all see it? My nose is running. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, also, if y'all got Peacock, check out that movie with Chloe Bailey in it. It's called Strong. Oh my God. When I tell you that movie good as hell, go and watch it and tell me what y'all think. That is a crazy movie, but it is so good. It's like a Hitchcock filled, like suspense and drama. I love that stuff, like Get Out and Sprung and Knives Out, like a mystery. I love it. But it's because I was watching it. I don't know if they're showing it again. Okay, it's called The 5-Star Weekend. I was watching this, right? And she just lost her husband. And it's like 8 episodes, and she's going through it. She befriended a girl on Instagram, started talking to her, I guess, because the friend who lost her husband, was an influencer and a cook and a chef, and she was making real money on there. And so I guess she went to the girl's the friend's funeral and started to talk to the girl through DMs. And she was just relating to her, like she said she lost her mom. All the while, I don't want to give up the story, but just go and watch it. But in the story, it's a spoiler alert. The girl, the woman who lost her husband was cheating. Okay? And she saw a couple of text messages saying G. And in it, I didn't see it real good because my eyes is like kind of off a little bit. But I believe she saw they was on a weekend, and she glanced through her husband's phone, and then she said, "Where you at?" And it said G. She had an iPhone. And she looked over, and she didn't say nothing to him. And he, of course, closed his phone because he saw her looking at the text message. She didn't even say nothing. Well, because her daughter was in a car, of course, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to give you away. But I'm learning, when I see the warning, I'm not going to say nothing to you right then and there. But believe me, now I'm going to approach you about what I saw. Because that is an indicator that there's an issue. And we're going to have this discussion. A lot of us, some women, we put off having a difficult discussion because we don't want to deal with the fact that we might have to let something go. But I'm gonna tell you something, ladies. I'm at the age, I'm about to hit 50 years old. You're going to have to be okay with having a difficult issue. Because eventually, if you don't deal with the difficult issue, the difficult issue is going to deal with you. And we have so many times where women have glossed over the warning. And after maybe 3 or 4 years, he's ready to leave you. You have made no plans. You thought it was going to get better. You thought it was going to get good. You think it's just a hard lesson. He might be still doing the same thing. You want to glance over it. Now you're not even prepared because you have glanced over it so many times and you're not paying attention, dealing with everyday life, that he has made plans to leave. And they usually do. And you're stuck like, I don't understand why. And you see so many women, like you go in these Real Housewives or whatever, and they all say, I don't understand why you understood, you seen it, you just glanced over it. You said, no, we're just having a hard time, because you want to believe in love, because that's what society has told us. It's okay to believe in love, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to be grown and have common sense too. And it's not, we need to get off of the rom-com and get some common sense. If I only barely see you 1 week, ladies, if you don't see this guy more than once a week, either he might be working, but 9 out of 10, honey, he has another woman. If he can't get on the phone with you all day, your man can't get on the phone with you all day, his priorities are with someone else, or he doesn't value you. Either way, do you want to live your life like that, where you're not getting valued as a human being, and then you're wasting time sitting there not getting valued? And when you're not getting valued, you're not growing, because you matter. We have been sitting in a relationship with somebody who doesn't value, so you are thinking low of yourself. And as you start being low on yourself, your intuition, your God voice depletes. God stopped talking to you after a while. When you stop listening to the commandment or listening to what he's telling you to do, it'll stop talking to you. Because the God value of yourself stops running away. They'll stop talking to you, period. Your ancestors will stop talking to you, because they don't feel like they're getting valued. But if you listen to your intuition, if you go through the pain, if you go through the heartbreak, if you go through the grief, if you let yourself sit there and cry, if you don't pick up his text, if you delete that number that God told you to delete, the blessings is going to come. I am a witness. The blessings is going to come. And as much as, like, I don't want to give that movie away, but they was having issues. Even though the husband died, I don't think that if he lived, because she said she was thinking about another man that she always, as young kids, always thought about. You know why God gave her now? Because he was a good man. And he was like, that's the one you should have kept. You know, but you have to go through these stages to get to a point where you said, I should have kept that person. That person was a good person to me. I should have held on to that. I should have valued that person more, and been transparent with that person. I wish I could have did that over again. But when you learn things like this comes with time and growth and going through something. As Kendrick once said, you ain't never been through nothing, so you don't know how to get over whatever you're going through. A lot of people don't. But what I'm trying to say is, listen to your gut. Listen to it. It's not. It's like it's hard. I understand. You've been with this situation for years. You've been with this person for 20 years. Once in a while, when they are you going out? Well, I gotta be. He don't come in at 2. Yeah, I smell perfume on him. Baby, we need to make some decisions. Is that what you want to live in? Is that what you want for your life? Do you believe God wants you to be hurt and taken advantage of? No. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. And another thing, like this dating situation, I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's daunting, but at the same time, it's very informative because I recently seen some couples on the internet. A lot of women tend to wanna. This is my. I've been one of the people who went from one relationship to the next relationship to the next relationship. I never gave myself time to grieve. You know, losing a person is a loss. You have to grieve it. You can't even smoke yourself out of your grief. You don't have to feel that shit. That shit hurt like a hell. But I'm starting to be able to laugh at the situation. But I think a lot of women and certain men, if you just sat there and just dated for a second, it will give you an opportunity to see or jotting down each issue that you have, that you see the patterns that you have with people. It would really, you would really like come to a point where you understand yourself. Like, if you sat there and be like, I've always given up my independence to be with somebody. Or I stopped what I was doing that was important to me to to have someone else's approval. I would stop my life just for them. I don't do that no more. Or I would stop my whole ritual or being just so available to another person, and then if I ask for some availability, they have issues or they have things they got going on that's more important to them, and they'll do what they want to do first and F me. Hell no, I ain't dealing with that no more. I don't deal with none of that. If you have an issue, this just came in my head. His rap songs come in my head. I remember Kendrick saying, "Nigga, I'll cut off my grandma if she don't see it how I see it." Hey, you know what? You can say like that's fucked up, but in reality, he's honoring himself. You could tell he's done the work. He's gone to therapy. He's honoring himself. Fuck everybody else. Like, they can't see it how I see it, then oh well. And that's just being honest with yourself. So now, if you don't see it the fuck the way I see it, we can move around. Hey, and like I was like, okay, so I was watching the Joe Budden podcast, and Damona was talking about dating and how women are felt a certain type of way when we date people. dating helps you understand what you're going to take in a relationship and what you're not going to take in a relationship. What is your cutoffs? What is your gripes? What do you like? What is your love language? If you get to know yourself and you start to date, you know what you like and what you dislike. If they can't come to these, if they can't come up to these requirements, I can't date you. Ain't nothing wrong with having standards. I used to think, like, I used to say, oh, these girls, a lot of times I'll be like, well, I don't get approached like that. I really don't get approached. I see them looking at me, but they never approach me. Because if you have standards, they're not going to approach you. And I used to think that was, like, I was like, oh, I just want somebody. But at the end, I'll be letting them go because my standards are not getting met. So it's all in your perception. At first, I thought it was like, I'm never going to get anyone. In reality, God gave you a defensive shield to block off the BS people in your life that will come in your life and stop your progress. And you got to look at it like that. Not like, I'm never going to see somebody. I'm never going to meet nobody. Your desperation will have you stuck with low vibrational people. But if you keep to your standards and just wait for God and understand that sometimes time is a construct, just waiting on Him to bring you your blessing instead of trying to force the blessing to happen, then you will have more than what you was looking for, or more of an abundance. About a week ago, baby, when I tell you every man was stopping me, everything was going, because I wasn't even worrying about them. And I think that's what it is. You have to learn to understand that you are enough. You're not too much. If you feel something, you feel, that's how you feel. And you shouldn't have to cut off how you feel to make other people feel comfortable. And if that's the case, then you're going to have to realize that this person is not for you because you're making me feel uncomfortable, not being able to talk to you about my uncomfortability. And I'm going to have to pass on you. And it's okay. You're going to have to be okay with being on your own. And when you really start to love yourself, then that's when God's going to bring you who He really wants in your life. And I do believe that. You're just going to have to make a wise choice on what God wants to bring in your life. And that's when you have to literally listen to your intuition then and as well. I ask myself, God, is this really what you want from me? And she'll tell me. She'll be like, no, Diane. And it ain't even that. More about is the person would do something in an action. And I'd be like, is that what you supposed to do? God be like, no, and no. That's not what you're supposed to do. No. So you know the answer to your own question. No. If He got to wait forever to call you back or text you or you barely see him, then I don't think that's your person, Diane. Because the person who values you gonna make sure that they are in your life some way, and they're gonna value your time and your presence, and they're gonna talk to you and be patient and listen. It was 4:44 on the timer. I keep seeing 4:44. I love angel numbers. I think that's real Interesting. But anyway, I keep seeing triple numbers. I was just, that's all I wanted to say. But I want y'all to check out 5-Star Weekend on Peacock. Also check out Strung. It's a very good show. And manifest what you're wanting out of life. Write it down on paper. Say it, the word, the tongue matters. Listen to your gut. Listen to yourself. You matter. You're not too much. Value your presence on this earth because God values it. Learning to deal with pain without covering it up with vices. I'm still learning that, baby. I'm still learning that. I'm drinking this water because I don't taking the marijuana smoke like I used to. But that's it. I think that's it right now. Because this video is like running long, but I said I might as well like make it every day. That's it right now. I hope y'all enjoying my content. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please let me know if you're in the comments how you think my videos are going. I would love to hear your input. If it's constructive criticism. I'm not like editing whiz right now, so I have to maybe get to learn more of that. If somebody wanted to help me out with that, I would really enjoy it. And tell me if I'm like funny to you. Like, let me know. I don't want this to be like too preachy. I don't want to be too preachy. I want us to like, I want to get to a point where I may start making you laugh and keeping you entertained. But love yourself. And I'm trying to like stretch it out for it to be maybe 48 minutes to 50 minutes. But we're going to leave it right here. Please like and share, subscribe, and I hope I will see you in the next video. I'll holla. Bye.